Well, hello, everybody. Hi, Jackie.
Hello.
I did not actually warn everybody, get everyone excited about this, but we have a very special treat today, and I'm going to keep it in our training arsenal, so we'll always have it. But this is the wonderful Sales Vice President, Jackie Rigante. She is in New Jersey right now. I'm coming from St. Louis, Mary Grace Lewandowski. And Jackie, whether you like it or not, you have officially become our designer inspired guru. And, I've never really asked you, but how did that start? When did you start doing that?
So way before jewelry. So I've always been very much into fashion, I would say.
Okay.
That's always piqued my interest. And I think it's probably one of the reasons I got into jewelry because I just always was somebody who was very much into fashions and names and, would scour things that, I liked but maybe couldn't afford.
Yeah.
And coming to Park Lane and having sort of that like whole thing open up where you could have those same looks for less was pretty like incredible to me.
Incredible. And every time a new line comes out, it's actually like a little part-time job for you, not little. But you will actually go and you will do your research. I know your daughter Samantha helps you sometimes to put the sheets together, but it's like a project, and you go and find the lookalikes or the dupes or how ours are reminiscent of whatever's going on in the real fashion world, so to speak. The real deal or whatever, and it's so helpful. And I know on a national level, um, you can't really say other names, but here, so we're very lucky that here on our page that we can say whatever we want.
We keep it quiet, but we don't.
Yeah, but we want to just show people how we compare. So, do you like to kind of go through what the trends are and show us like what has been what's inspired some of the pieces that are here in Park Lane?
Sure, that was great. So, some of it is interesting. And I think a lot of us in here that have done this for a while, like you start to know what looks like certain designers. Like,
Yeah,
example, David Yurman. David Yurman's a name that many of us know because he's just an international design icon when it comes to jewelry. And he's very well known for like his cable roping. And you can read about him, which I've done. But it's so interesting because as soon as you see a piece like Sorel, right, that we have in our collection, I think many of us would know right away, like, oh, that's a David Yurman inspiration. And you can tell really by like, just the way that this is roped, the cable, and like the little design diamond on the top, it just looks so much like David Yurman. So, I mean, it's so delicate, so beautiful. And I know that this has been a top
you know
seller.
what I'm doing. So those of you that are watching it,
Yep. So it's just a
I
real
think words are super important.
to write down the words. But like this, so right, so this cable that you see is just so iconic to David Yurman. And it would look like to me, like if you grabbed our Dallas hoops, something like that, like you can see that David Yurman thread that sort of goes through many inspirations that we have here at Park Lane. So I love the Sorel. I think it's such a great piece to be able to share with people because it fits everybody. It's lightweight, it's easy, and you can always go on the David Yurman website and find pieces that look just like this. Now, one of the things that I would tell you guys to do while we're watching this in the One Stop Lewandowski group, I put those designer inspired pages in there. So if you haven't already printed them out, you should. You can take notes on them. You don't need to share them with people, but it's good for us to have to learn from, right? And kind
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely.
right.
It's also in the boards. We got the boards app, and they also put them there where you can just copy and paste. So the lifestyle bracelet I learned from you and from watching all this is kind of a David Yurman inspired. And the words that I wrote down, you guys, were like cable, roped. Whenever we have like those kind of descriptive words, it's super, super helpful. Now tell me if this is true. I have heard that in today's world, it's actually considered almost like a status symbol to do dupes, to be able to find things that aren't the real deal, but that they're actually able to find things that people will think are the real deal, and that people, the up and coming generations, really pride themselves on things like that.
Yeah, well, I agree. it's hard to be able to have a Louis Vuitton pocketbook for every outfit you have, right? But
Right,
there are some really incredible dupes out there.
right.
I like to have one of the real, right? Oh, but then you have like fun ones. So I think one of the things that I've always thought of is sort of like mixing and matching. Have a few what I call real pieces. And in that, and I think I share this when I do my shows, like you want your real jewelry, but you can elevate that and you can bring it to life and bring in new trends by introducing some designer inspired pieces.
Absolutely, absolutely. So yeah, that sorrel is a big seller for me as well already, and it's really cute with the Merlin. And I don't know that the Merlin's designer inspired. I think maybe it is.
Oh, it is. And it does. I agree. So it does pick up those squares, but this is Tory Burch. I mean, this is
Okay, okay.
100%. If you went into a Tory Burch store, you would see these for about $120. They're not crazy expensive, but when we can get this for 34, right?
Yeah,
And I do agree. I think they really complement each other. So
I,
nice.
I tell them together all the time because the people love the compliment of the stones, how alike they are. And also, you and I are both big fans of the whole sweet street look. You know, when you take something kind of edgy or male inspired and you put something more delicate and dressy with it, I absolutely love that look. And that is totally indicative of that look. So, love those two guys. Those are good.
And maybe it's a good time to sort of tell you and chime in. We talked about this one at a time, but so I believe, and I never really spoke to her about it, but I've heard people say, so this particular secret garden collection that we have here, I believe was inspired by a sort of look that's very trendy right now, which is that romantic sort of like garden and pastel colors and lace, flowers, all those pretty sort of things. And there's a company or a store, clothing boutique called Love Shack Fancy.
Love Shack Fancy. How cute is that? Okay.
And it's gaining popularity. So if you haven't heard of it, you probably will in the future. Now, all of a sudden, like you'll notice that name everywhere. The Gap has a collaboration with them. There is I keep forgetting the name of it. There's a really big ski Bogart. There's a big ski company that they fancied with, and so they call themselves they fancied with them. So they fancied with the Gap. They fancied with Bogart. So basically, if you look at their clothing, it is just this beautiful, very flowery pastel lace. And if you kind of think like that and maybe go to their website and take a look, and I've had the honor of going to their stores in Manhattan and New York City, it's really beautiful clothing, expensive, but our jewelry would complement all of that clothing and that whole look. So whether you're shopping at Old Navy or the Gap, or you're going to Love Shack Fancy, you're going to see that inspiration woven through a lot of designs this spring and summer.
Oh my gosh. And I love how they say be fancy with other companies because we love to like do shows for people and their friends and we can be fancying with them. I love it. I
See
love
that?
it.
Isn't that fun?
So
So,
tell me some pieces that are an example of the Love Shack fancy look.
well, I'm going to say these first
Okay.
right here that I'm wearing, I've been in love with these earrings right here. These are so beautiful. These are the romantic earrings, and they're sort of that what I call like just vintage look, and they are that like antique gold.
Yes.
So
Yeah.
got this antique gold with this lacy sort of feel, and then you've got these pearls that are in there. So if you're going to be wearing one of those like springtime tops and you've got lace or colors or flowers or anything, and you put these on, it's just going to add to that whole romantic vibe. Love them. And these look like so there's a company called Gabrielle and Co. They sell these for $2,700 and they look almost identical to these, you guys. I mean, so when you feel that these are 76 and
Yeah.
you can sell them half price for $38, we should feel really good about that.
Oh my gosh. So Gabrielle and Company has $2,700. Very similar. Love it.
Similar, yeah. So these are really really cool. The other ones, for some reason I don't have them here yet. I ordered them and then I gave them away. But I always love to also talk about our cypress earrings.
Yes. With
So
the black, with the little black beads on them. Yeah.
so those are so interesting because I learned a lot about them in doing my research, and they're actually, I mean, they could give a whole history lesson on them. So they come from like the Byzantine era of jewelry. And I found a piece that looks identical to ours that are in a museum. for $158,000. And when I tell you they were made thousands of years ago and they look like ours and how they've carried through and they have that whole vintage appeal and that lacy sort of scroll work and that little black diamond. And so they're really, really cool pieces. And you can sort of talk about how they've been in jewelry collections through the ages and how are just, beautiful to add to any collection.
Whenever I do we have the most wonderful job here. And I always say that jewelry is so fun to be in too, because it withstands the test of time. So there you go. It's been around since all those years ago. Yeah.
Really amazing. So that's really cool. So that's why, so you'll see these have, I also, listen, I've been loving, and I think this has been a really big seller for us, right? The Echo earrings. These are beautiful, and they look like they have all these different charms, and they could be heavy, and they're like featherweight. I mean, these have been like a bestseller, and certainly there's lots of companies that have ones like this. Like we saw, Wish Paris is a name that has ones that look like this for $150. Kristen Mara has them; they're like $150. So to grab a pair like this for 23 half price, amazing.
Absolutely amazing. And let me reiterate, I love to give the little things, but you guys all notice how those are forward facing towards the camera. That became again very popular as soon as we started zooming so much. I love when the fashion industry reacts to what's going on in the world. So those are some zoom worthy earrings right there. Love them. Silver and gold, right? Echo.
Yep, those come in silver or gold. And while we're at earrings, and I guess I'm going to grab these. So these are straight out of Tiffany.
I love these.
Right?
I'm telling them they're so cute on everybody, Jackie. Everybody.
Yeah. They're the perfect starting piece. So I think if I always love to start and end with pieces that are going to help us build our sale. Yes. And I show pieces I go in and out, and I sort of talk about two pieces, write these down, the Moana and the Whisper. And then I go back and I show these and the Echo. And I'm like, you have to take two of these four because they're going to, and people just listen to me. So they
I'm listening to you. The deal unlockers. So Wishbone, Tiffany inspired, you said.
Tiffany inspired. So
okay.
Paloma Picasso, which is Tiffany, has the at Tiffany for $425. Bloomingdale's has a similar piece for over $400. But yeah, these are just designer inspired by Tiffany. So those are great. And we all know that we don't have these in stock because these are so amazing. I mean, first of all, how can we beat the price point on these?
I know. I was shocked.
Amazing. I have a woman that lives in the next town, and she will only wear the real. And I tell you, she probably has a few pair, and they're, I don't know, 4,000, 5,000. I mean, I'm just looking. Van Cleef has these for $4,050, and they look identical. When she saw my purple one, she's like, I have to have those, and I haven't been able to buy them yet. And so I'm like, okay, here. And she's like, okay. So I gave her mine. I was like, for $22, I gave her mine in hopes that she'll go take a look at Park Lane and buy more, because she usually only wears the real thing.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, some people say that, and it's very in fashion to do the designer inspired, because the real doesn't hold its value. You could lose it. It's scary. So that's a big look right now too, I've noticed, and also read, is what's just the colored enamel.
Oh, yes.
Yeah, very pretty. And those also come in purple and white.
Right. And that lilac color, if you haven't gotten it yet, it is going to definitely be the color coming into the spring and the summer. So I think we're going to be wearing that a lot and introducing pieces with a lot of color. So I love that. And talking about color, I have on this great tansy piece right here, which is Sydney Evan. You guys have probably heard of Sydney Evan before.
From you.
From me. So I love Sydney Evans. She just has great pieces, and most of her pieces have little charms on them, whether they're a great bracelet with beads. But this piece right here, she calls it her gold and diamond carved moonstone necklace. She sells it for $1,090. $1,090. And here we have it for what are you selling? I think it's $40, right? Pretty cool. So here's another great piece. Love it. And we should talk about these guys. They're
that.
similar and different, right? So what I
Oh my gosh. I
love
just, when I refer to them, I just say like light, like artistic, and just a beautiful art form. But like, is there actually a name, do you know, for that type of?
laser cut.
Thank you. Laser cut.
So these are laser cut, and you can see, like, if you look at them, can you see how they're like almost open, right? It's like they're like a laser cut them. So it's almost like they see the gold. And because they're laser cut, they pick up the light and they sparkle, they illuminate, they shine. And it's because of the way that they are cut. So yeah.
They're both unusual in that they're an actual stud. Stay in your ear very nicely. And anything to do with flowers, butterflies, nature, super, super romantic, looks super in right now.
Well, that's it. And so much fun, like flirty and fun. And the girls want to wear them. They're really fun. So whether you're doing the poppy, and I would say these are much more like I always think of Oscar de la Renta when
Yeah.
I flowers and poppies like this. He has so many different styles that look like this, but they just pick up on that whole Oscar de la Renta look. So that is really fun.
Sometimes your earring can be like your whole story, just a gorgeous earring. Bring
Yeah.
it in your outfit.
For sure. And then going to bracelets, I wanted to show you, first of all, this one, the wild bracelet. I've gotten so many people that are loving this piece. I mean, this will just add color to you. I mean, no matter what color you're wearing, you pop this on and all of a sudden it's going to be your focal point of your outfit. Now, designer, his name is Kenneth J. Lane. You guys may have heard of Kenneth J. Lane. This is straight from this is Kenneth J. Lane. And so retailing this bracelet for $300. We have it for $184 full price, of course, and we're going to grab it as a half price item or take it as your bonus. And
Yeah, $30. And it's stretchy, right? So
It-
so it'll fit the most boniest little twiggy wrist or the voluptuous wrist. Yeah, I love that.
I'm loving it stacked. Like one is not enough. So, like the best way to wear this is wear more than one. You really want to show people like three of these together, and it's just a wow look. And your bracelets become your focal point. So you do something little here, little, and then this. And so together, more than one. And I will say, with everything we have from the vibes bracelets, right, to the wild bracelet, it's all about stacking them together, creating that monochromatic look, but with a stack of the same bracelets. So three of these, maybe you do a black, green, black, but stack them.
Stack them.
And
Odd numbers.
these are going to be great. Now, talking about the Aria, which has been a brand new bestseller for me. Have you guys been selling a lot of the Aria? Isn't that beautiful? So this is Bulgari. So Bulgari is very well known for their bracelets that look just like this. They call it their usually on Bulgari at the ends. What they do is it looks like almost like a little snake.
Okay.
Right? So have you guys seen that?
Now I know exactly what you're talking about.
And they do it just like this. And so many different designers and companies will use Bulgari and then have inspirations from there. So, for example, Bulgari sells this bracelet for $67,000. And it's similar, and it has like the serpent at the end. That's what they're known for. But then you have other companies like Jamie Bijou, who has this exact bracelet for 3,000. So the 3,000 is an inspiration to the 67,000, right?
Well, people ask me that, they're like, why do so many, these pieces look like other people? And I go, because the head jewelry houses start it and the rest of us all get on the bandwagon. Yeah.
They create a look, and then everybody, sort of like when you see, like if you go to the Grammys and somebody's wearing a beautiful dress, and then you see all the designers,
yes,
those looks, right?
Yes.
With jewelry, so there's the top fashion design houses from Van Cleef and Arpels, they create and we follow. It's kind of like that movie Prada.
Yeah. So, wears Prada.
Yeah. I was thinking about it as we were talking. So yeah, so this is a great piece. This is very high end. It's a luxury brand, and this is never going to go out of style. It's extremely classic. I love for this the hinge. I just think it makes it so easy for people to wear. They don't have to worry about the clasp, getting it on and off, and you can have so much fun wearing that piece.
Talk about a conversation starter. What do you call those again?
Yes. Oh, so I always say a compliment catcher. So I say
compliment catchers. I love that. Okay. Yeah.
Not one compliment catcher in the entire world. So when you're wearing your jewelry, wait because people are going to compliment you.
I can't believe I never really got that until I started, well, wearing jewelry, and I get compliments every single day. That's a definite compliment catcher. And
Yes,
just to put in a little, like a little plug for bracelets, because I adore them so much. Um, first of all, you're using, like Jackie, you were just doing it. That's all part of our expressive zone. And people are watching our hands and our wrists all the time. So it's a fun thing to do for other people. But in the same regard, your bracelets are like little works of art for your own self. So like right now we're looking at our own faces, we're looking at each other's faces. But normally, even if you're just sitting alone, there's your bracelet. Little cheer you up a little. Look at the art on your own arms. I just love it. Something really fun to do for yourself.
it is. And the other thing I wanted to mention, so I'm going to bring in this right here, and this is something that I do, and it's really funny. So Mary Grace, do you have are you on your phone, or do you have access to your phone right next to you?
I have access to my phone.
Okay, so I'm going to ask you to Google something for me.
Okay.
By the way, what I do on every show when I so I talk about Park Lane, I talk about the jewelry, and then I take one piece and I ask my fans, the people that are watching me, to Google something for help. And I'm asking them to Google Roberto coin, and then I spell it ROBERTOCOIN zipper. And tell me what comes up when you Google Roberto coin zipper.
A necklace that looks just like that. One's for 8,900. There's another one for 10,300.
Okay. So you know what happens when we do that and our audience?
Let's see. The green screen. Sorry. Trust me on this, people. Yeah.
But when I do that on my show and people Google it and it takes a second, just like it took you, they come back and it's eye-opening.
Yeah.
And I have confidence and trust in them that I'm showing them pieces that are out there in the stores for these crazy amounts of money, and that we're able to bring them the same designer look for $36 half price.
Yeah. Ridiculous. Ridiculous. Talk about a conversation starter too. We got compliment catchers and we got conversation starters, but it's actually a little working zipper, right? You can adjust it.
You can. It's a working zipper. I love it. It's just, I think this is a really like fun, kind of sexy kind of that just has that like really great look to it. So layering with that is just wonderful. But yeah, I would say pick a piece. It could be the Roberto coin flower ring. And I do talk about Roberto coin a lot because right now in our collection, we have so many pieces inspired by Roberto coin. So he's definitely a name that you should take a moment to look up because
tell us some more. Do you know off the top of your head?
Off the top of my head.
Okay.
Brulee necklace and brulee earrings.
Okay.
Royal bracelet, chateau bracelet, flora ring, zipper necklace. What else?
Roberto coin. And now I got to look up the whole. I hope they do a documentary on him. I love to watch the documentaries and.
Yes.
These people.
So that collection that we really have here, the Brulee, for example, is his Venetian princess collection, right? So if you look up the royal bracelet in the Venetian princess on his thing, you're going to see this for like $15,000. And what I do is I kind of show it after I go through and I show my when I'm showing my shows, I'll show the Brulee earrings and necklace, the royal, the flora, and how they complement each other. If you like that whole quatrefoil look, that's Roberto coin. It started when you talk about, and you can see the difference. Like this is Van Cleef, and Van Cleef was really like the original of the quatrefoils. But you kind of learn as you kind of watch Van Cleef, Roberto coin, David. You see who's doing what with those same symbols. So yeah, so that's a great one. So
they are symbols. I share that. You know this. It can be a cross. It can be a heart. It's the four corners of the world. You could do a little scavenger hunt in your house, you guys, and you will find quadrifoils in the architecture, in the furniture, in the fabrics on your sofas and stuff and clothes. Quadrifoils are very meaningful and started since ancient times, probably with those cypress earrings way back.
It really so great. So it started in the Roman Catholic era, and it started with, you know, like you said, all of the history of the art and architecture and all that. So especially if you go to Italy and you go to Rome, you will see it everywhere.
Everywhere. Yeah.
Definitely. Even in like then Greece. But yeah, so like this piece right here, our Bev necklace. So this is a combination. If you look at this and you want the designer inspiration, this quatrefoil is very Van Cleef and Arpels. And so this looks just like it. But Roberto Coin does have a piece that has a quatrefoil with a littler guy on the side that kind of looks like this. And of course, I can tell you the prices because we have them on this sheet right here. Let's see. The designer ones sell for, trying to find the Bev. Okay, Roberto Coin sells this for $15,000. Van Cleef and Arpels has the single Alhambra for about $3,500. So again, very high end. Those great looks, so much fun.
I always think like no matter, I mean, and we do well here at Park Lane, but no matter how rich I was, I just cannot see ever spending $15,000 on a piece of jewelry. That's just so amazing to me and so awesome that we can have the same look for so little.
Right. And you know what also I share about that, Mary Grace? Even if I had the money and you're going to spend that kind of money on a piece, $15,000, you're married to it. So you're wearing a piece forever, right? You're never changing it. You're never, what I love about fashion jewelry is you don't have to feel that way.
Right.
You can change it up, wear different things depending on how your mood, what you're wearing, all those things. So that's what I love, is having that flexibility. So that's really cool. This piece right here, this we got to talk about, because this pendant, this moon crescent pendant, is a huge deal. It is genuine mother of pearl. It is a designer inspired piece that is so beautiful. And if you were to look up this necklace from like the name I believe is Marlowe Laz, so just this pendant alone is about $7,000. About $7,000, and it's a genuine, and I love it because if you look at it and you can see that like mother of pearl, it picks up that beautiful light, and it almost looks like it picks up that iridescent color. And what we love about this charm is it does come off this black cord. So we've seen lots of people taking this off and put it on the hazy necklace, right? You can wear it on the card, you can put them together, but this beautiful necklace, and people love, I have so many customers that love to wear the whole moon and crescent moon design with this.
Yes. Oh. Yes. There's a lot of, it's very much of a fashion statement right now, the whole cosmic idea.
It is. And then you have it here in the fig bracelet. So there you go. If people love the crescent and the moon, this is a great piece. And this, I love to always talk about, we have designers that we love here at Park Lane. So I'm trying to think of her name, Shelly Lowe, right? She is Rob Lowe's wife. I've talked about her.
Okay, that's right. Yeah.
So Rob Lowe's wife has an amazing jewelry company. And so she has a piece that looks just like this. She's selling it for about $1,300. And I love these stones. I think the purples and the greens together are just so beautiful. It reminds me of like Mardi Gras, but really, really beautiful. So ours $84 piece is amazing because
hold it up to your face and it feels cold, doesn't it?
Yeah.
If you want to know if a stone is real, it's very cold to the touch.
Beautiful. So this is gorgeous. And I love pairing this with the Vibe bracelets. I just think they make a great combination. It brings out those colors. So I pop them together. So I love that. So that's a great look. And then the other bracelet that we didn't talk about yet, which has gotten so many compliments, is the beautiful Montana bracelet.
Gorgeous. Yeah.
Whether you wear silver or gold, you can just combine this with so many pieces. I saw yesterday somebody had 2 silver sorels, and they had 1 sorel on each side of this bracelet, and it looked so fabulous. I love it. This bracelet is identical. We found the original by a company, Jude's France. It's a French company, and selling this for about $1,500. Looks identical to this piece right here. Montana is just, I mean, I've just gotten so many compliments on it when I wear it. Love it.
And I don't know that people realize what a neutral green is. So the little stones on that are green. And green goes with everything. When I was in the decorating business, we used to tell people that every room needs a little bit of green to give it life. You will find that whatever you're wearing, the green is always going to complement it. It's a great neutral.
It is a neutral. And the last piece that I wanted to really talk about and highlight for you guys was, because you guys are going to Paris soon, beautiful piece right here is like amazing. I love this chain link. And so our Lux necklace, whether you're doing it in silver or gold, is absolutely beautiful. And this is called a Paris chain link.
Oh, okay. I
So,
didn't know that.
yep. So this particular kind of link that looks like this, it can almost look like a maritime link, but it's called
Yeah,
link.
I was gonna say.
Yep.
Yeah.
So this also comes from Cheryl Lowe. Cheryl Lowe has this for about $6,000 in her collection. You could look up Cheryl Lowe. But that Paris chain link is very hip and very on trend.
Yeah. When people talk about like chains, that since I've been in Park Lane, every year we have different chains. And what goes out of style or what really keeps you fresh is the type of link that they're featuring. So yeah, that maritime link. And you just called it the Paris link. I don't think I realized that. That is super, super
Yep.
of the moment.
Oh,
Really great. Almost like little figure eights. Jackie, we love you. Thank you so much. And you guys, as part of the Boards app or in the Lewandowski One Stop Facebook group, go and pull the comparison sheets. They're so fun to show at shows or on your camera or whatever. And people absolutely love being able to have the dupes that look just exactly like the designer pieces. Now, Jackie, has anybody ever asked you if something that you have on is the real thing? Have they ever said, is that Roberta coin? Is that Cartier? Is that?
I'm trying to think. I mean, usually not, because I'm showing Park Lane, so they know. I mean,
Yeah, it happens to me a lot out and about. They'll be like, oh my gosh, is that Cartier? You know, like, so it happens to me like in fashion, like in the malls or on trips and stuff with non-Park Laners, because they know
right.
that it very often is mistaken and they can't tell the difference.
Right. Yeah, so it's funny that you say that. So now that you have me thinking about that, that has happened to me all. Like if I'm checking out at Nordstrom and somebody that there is like, oh, I love your, and they think it is.
Yes, absolutely. Absolutely. They mistake it for it all the time, which goes to show you like, haha, I saved $14,572 compared to what you had. Yeah, or probably free when I had a show. Thank you so much again. We're gonna save this in our safe of wonderful trainings. I appreciate you going live with me today. And everybody out there, I hope you got a lot of good information. I know I did. Thank you so much. Bye, Jackie.
Bye.